Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Amelia Winter.
And I'm Lauren Burris.
Newslink Indiana and the Daily News had a sit-down interview with Democratic gubernatorial candidate Jennifer McCormick.
This is the first part of our two-part coverage of Indiana's gubernatorial candidates.
North Korea exploded parts of two major roads connected to the southern part of the peninsula yesterday. This comes after Pyongyang warned it would take steps to completely cut off its territory from the south. Welcome back. Netflix and MGM Resorts are teaming up to create a restaurant based on the streaming giant at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. The family of a Tennessee factory worker who was swept away in flooding from Hurricane Helene has filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the company. Welcome back. Two departments here at Ball State University were able to come together to celebrate the 1920s with the power of food and fashion. The event takes you back in time for a little history lesson while eating authentic food. Newslink Indiana's Andy Zelaya explores more on the celebration. Even though the weather's looking a little spooky, I'm excited for tomorrow to dress up. What are you guys going to wear?
I'm going to be an elf.
Ooh.
So that's a little bit ominous for the spooky weather, I think.
I was thinking about doing Catwoman, but since it's going to be so nice, I feel like I'm going to be so hot, so.
I know.
Yep.
I might do impromptu costume because
Yep.
I was going to dress up and like layer up, and I just don't know now.
Right, when in doubt, just make some DIY costumes is what I always do.
Honestly, yeah, and that's why Spear Halloween is open all year long. And honestly, I think I'm going to go tomorrow and get my costume.
You might need an umbrella. Just
Maybe.
So you know.
Or maybe, what's that one movie with Mary Poppins
Oh,
with the umbrella? Yeah.
Oh, that's a good
There you go.
costume.
Yes,
Some rain
for
boots.
sure.
Yeah,
Very
that would
fitting.
fit, I think.
Yes. Well, thank you so much,
You're
Olivia.
welcome.
Secretary of State Diego Morales initiated the Hoosier Hall Pass, which called out to high school students to work at polling sites to help combat the shortage of poll workers. However, with that shortage continuing, Morales, a proud veteran himself, is calling out to fellow Hoosier veterans to help serve at the polls this year. Over 4 years of pet grooming experience, recently, Victoria Gill has been able to establish her own business, the Bow Wow Pet Parlor. Morales and his team are hopeful that this outreach will not only increase voter turnout at the polls this year, but build community for all. In Muncie, Amelia Winter, Newslink, Indiana.
As harvest season continues throughout the fall season, it's important to stay safe while sharing the road. Newslink Indiana's Amelia Winter traveled out to farmland to find out more.
As the harvest season continues throughout the fall, farmers have begun traveling in large, slow-moving farm equipment on roads throughout Indiana. Sharing the road with motorists during this time has raised concerns for not only drivers, but also farmers. Due to the timely schedule the farmers are on, reckless driving can have a negative impact.
But you're always in a hurry to get your crop out because it can, cause loss by damage or just with the weather, causing the damage, or just you have to get it out at a certain time when it's ripe so you make the most profit off your fields. So a lot of times when we're driving, we just want to get to where we have to go and not really have to get over a million times or necessarily worry about the extra people just driving crazy, because there's so many times, honestly, about every field we move to, it feels like you're about to have a wreck at some points because people just drive so carelessly and they're in such a hurry.
For Kelly, this hasn't been the first time she and her husband have dealt with the negative effects of reckless driving.
Like one year, my husband had to get over driving the combine, and people don't think about the height of things, so we have to be careful where we get over because trees can damage our equipment from the top end. And so that was super stressful because he got over for a car and then the tree did some damage to our combine.
Another drawback farmers face is the inability to see motor vehicles because of their size. Although technology has helped improve the farm equipment, farmers still deal with this difficulty on the road.
Most equipment pieces do have cameras on them now, so we will sometimes notice you, but a lot of times we have to turn wide to make turns into fields or other roads. And so if you're trying to pass us near an intersection or you think you want to get around us, just be patient, and a lot of times we'll get over for you.
Kelly and other farmers wish there could be more awareness for motorists while driving through rural areas.
I wish there would be more education for drivers, especially young drivers in rural areas, to be taught how to drive around equipment, because I really don't think a lot of people notice. And almost every time, you know, we're driving equipment down the road, people will pull over like right beside like a mailbox or an electric pole or something like that. And it's like, oh my gosh, we cannot get around you and that.
It's important for motorists to be extra cautious while driving through rural areas because they are sharing the road with something double their size. In farmland, Amelia Winter, NewsLink, Indiana.
If you want more helpful information about how to stay safe on the roads during harvest season, go to www.in.gov.
Secretary of State Diego Morales initiated the Hoosier Hall Pass, which called out to high school students to work at polling sites to help combat the shortage of poll workers. However, with that shortage continuing, Morales, a proud veteran himself, is calling out to fellow Hoosier veterans to help serve at the polls this year. Secretary Morales encourages all eligible Hoosiers to work the polls. At the same time, he feels his veteran background lends skills especially applicable to poll workers.
We bring this discipline and attention of detail that we need at the polls.
According to a 2024 NPR poll, 58% of Americans say they are concerned about voter fraud. Morales feels that veteran poll workers can help ensure credibility. Not only that, but they'd also act as a symbol of patriotism.
I believe veterans bring this unique expertise, if you will, but also when you see them at the polls, and you know, some of them, they perhaps wear their hat, it says veteran, you know, and that brings that sense of patriotism.
Outside of this initiative, veterans can get involved in their communities in a number of ways. Working the polls is just one unique and simple way to make an impact.
We're making a call of action for our veterans to get involved in our election process by becoming a poll worker. We need them. We want them to be our poll workers. We can use the help.
Morales and his team are hopeful that this outreach will not only increase voter turnout at the polls this year, but build community for all. In Muncie, Amelia Winter, NewsLink, Indiana. For 4 years of pet grooming experience, recently, Victoria Gill has been able to establish her own business, the Bow Wow Pet Parlor. Before opening up Bow Wow Pet Parlor in July, Victoria worked at a boarding, daycare, and grooming facility that did everything that allowed multiple dogs all in one room. However, Victoria wanted to create a different experience for her clients' pets by giving them one-on-one attention.
As far as I know, like a lot of groomers are in boarding or daycare facilities or vet clinics, and even though you may be able to be a little bit out of the way of everything else, I like to prioritize literally just me and that dog. Like, all I do is grooming here.
Victoria's pride in her work is shown through her dedication to ensuring dog safety by requiring vaccines for appointments. At the same time, another feature that makes Bow Wow Pet Parlor stand out is being cage-free.
PetSmart Pet Supplies Plus, how it's an open environment. And you know, dogs are always coming in, even if it's not for grooming, like they're just coming in to shop or something. That's a lot for dogs to be looking at while you're trying to groom and things like that. So here, it's literally just me and the dog.
Since opening up her business, Victoria feels closer to her clients more than ever.
I've had a more personal relationship with my clients because when I worked at other places, it was more just like, oh, you know, like, you're just another client. You know, it's more just like getting numbers in and just another paycheck. But here it's like I take pride in my work, and it's just building that relationship with clients and, you know, maybe even making friends out of it.
The Bow Wow Pet Parlor strives to create a stress-free environment that prioritizes dogs' comfort and well-being. In Albany, Amelia Winter, NewsLink, Indiana.
If you are interested in more information for your furry friend, then visit Bow Wow Pet Parlor LLC on Facebook.com.